This is Tech Pulse, the show that keeps you in step with the technological world and one step ahead of everybody else.
Tech Pulse,
I'm your host,
Samsung Galaxy Note 3 is finally going on sale.
The show.
Sharp gets into the 4K Ultra HD game, and Microsoft OneNote gives an update to iOS. All this and more coming up today on Tech Pulse. Alright, this is Tech Pulse for July 2nd, 2013. Whew. I mean, July is going by quick. And remember, this is the month that we have a lot of those releases like Leap Motion, like, what's the other thing? NVIDIA Shield. All of that stuff is coming out this month. So, you know, this is going to be a packed month as far as gaming goes. So, you know, hey. It's going to be, you know, pretty good. But this is a show where you get all your news, starting with the top stories of the day in the tech world. So let's get right into it. And it is the Samsung Galaxy Note. Now, I know that Devin has been, you know, a Samsung fan for a long time. You know, he was looking at getting the Note for a phone with that stylus, but he decided on the sleek, classy Samsung Galaxy S4. However, the Note 3, a lot of people have been wondering, when is this thing coming out? I mean, you know, because a lot of people like the Note. They like the stylus and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, Devin, I know you're using your Samsung Galaxy S4 right now as we speak in the studio. But the Note's stylus, was that a drawing point for you? Was that a sell feature when you were considering getting it? I mean,
yeah, initially because I had one of the first PDAs that were out there. Well, do you know what it was called? Way back in the late 90s, there was a PDA.
Wait, was it from Palm?
Palm 7.
Yeah.
Was the
Palm Pilot.
Yeah, Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
I had one of the first Palms.
Yeah.
And stuck with Palm all the way until they killed themselves.
Right.
They committed suicide by not staying at the head of the game.
Right.
All of this stuff that we see now is from Palm.
Right.
You know, they were, what do you call it?
Pioneers.
Navigation.
Yeah.
I had navigation on my phone in 98.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I had the stylus, and it was a big thing.
It was a big selling point.
It was a big selling point. But then I realized, I heard that the functionality of the S4
was just
actually
right. So for people who are looking to get that stylus, and they call it the Pen, you know what I'm saying, the S Pen, you know, or Samsung Pen, because, you know, the Galaxy Note 3 comes with that pen. For people, for Samsung fans looking for that new Note 3, the phone might be right around the corner, according to a report by CNET. They're saying a new report claims that the latest phablet, you know, that's the term that we use here in the tech industry for phones that are crossed between phones and tablets, you know, those 6 inches, 5 to 6 inch, because tablets start at 7 inches. So when you get those phones that are 5 to 6 inches, they're too big to be called regular phones. They're too small to be called tablets. So the term phablet has come around. So, you know, that's a term right here on Tech Pulse right there. So for people looking for that phablet, Samsung has certainly made a lot of noise about the newest Galaxy S4 super phone that they had, but another of its popular gadget lines, the Galaxy Note franchise, is sorely overdue for a refresh. You know, and now it appears that the Note 3 model is in the works. And according to sources close to the technology, Android Geeks, they said that this phone could be coming out as soon as September. So if you're a Galaxy Note fan, you're someone that, man, you know, the Galaxy S4 is good, but I like the Note. I like the big screen, because the Samsung Galaxy S4 is like a 5-incher. The Note is a 6-incher, and it comes with that S Pen. And, you know, a lot of people like it for note-taking and stuff like that, and they can write things pretty, you know, in your own handwriting on the Galaxy Note. Now, you will recall that the original Galaxy Note first shook up the mobile phone market back in early 2012 with a gargantuan, at the time, 5.3-inch screen, and that S Pen stylus turned serious heads, and people were like, man, you got a stylus with a phone? And then They doubled down with the Note 2 and added a quad-core processor to that bad boy, even bigger display at 5.5 inches into the mix. So like its predecessors, the Note 3 may go larger still. Rumors are saying 6 inches. So you're getting right under that tablet size, you know, with that stylus pen. And they're saying this thing is going to pack 8 megapixel camera sensor. The Note 2 now packs. The Note 3 will likely feature 13 megapixel camera swap from the Galaxy S4. They're probably going to go at least a quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 500 processor or something like that in there to make sure that they can keep up with all the functionality of it. And hopefully that the Note will have the same functionality as the S4, because the Note is really made for people on the go, businesses and stuff like that. It's really made for people like that. So if it's not going to have at least the functionality of the S4, then, you know, the Galaxy Note is just going to miss the mark. So I can't imagine Samsung not having the functionality that the S4 has in the Note. So it's one of those things that, to me, do I like the bigger phones? I mean, anything I do, I like to go big. Everybody knows I like to go big. And so when I'm doing certain stuff, I like to know that you know, I have as big as I can. So the Note at 6 inches, the Galaxy Note 3 at 6 inches is definitely a phone that's up my league. You know, so it's not going to be for everybody. You know, especially, unfortunately, you know, a lot of women, you know, women have smaller hands and stuff like that. So, you know, their hands are not, you know, not suited to hold the Galaxy Note. You're not going to get a lot of women wanting to get this, but there are some women that like the bigger phones. However, the Note 3 is going to be around that 6-inch mark, so it's more for business use, more for people on the go who do a lot of calculations, or who have a lot of things. You take a lot of notes and stuff like that. With your phone and things. So that's really what you would use the Galaxy S3 for. So this is going to be a good thing if it comes out in September. We just have to see if Samsung keeps its word, and, you know, the rumors are true, and this thing comes out in September. And speaking of note taking, because this would be pretty good if this could happen with the Galaxy Note right around the corner. But Microsoft, yesterday we talked a lot about Microsoft, but Microsoft has released an update for its OneNote application. Now, many of you know Microsoft OneNote. If you don't know what OneNote is a note-taking application that people use, like Evernote, stuff like that. People use these things to take notifications, to write down notes, kind of like Post-its. But you can do it online, which means you can have your notes anywhere you go. So as long as you have internet connection, you have 3G service, 4G service, you can write a note to yourself. And rather than, you know, writing a Post-it and sticking it in your car or whatnot, people use Evernote, people use OneNote to write notes to themselves, and so they can access it online. So if I need to remember something, I write it online. I write it on OneNote, my OneNote application, and close it. And then if I want to remember, if I'm out to the doctor's office or I'm out somewhere, you know, you pull it up, and all your notations are right there. And that's the good thing about services like Evernote and OneNote. But according to Microsoft, their OneNote for Android, and that's why I'm saying this would be good to go with the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 coming out. Now, OneNote for Android and iOS is updated with consistent formatting, ribbon for iPad and Office 365 syncing, and more. According to a report by The Next Web, they're saying that Microsoft not only announced the update to OneNote for Android, but also to iOS, adding a slew of new features for the two mobile platforms. Now, you can download the new version directly from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store or something like the new version. If you have it already, or if you don't have it, you can download it from the Apple Store or Google Play. Now, the biggest change with the release is that the new version features a rich editing and consistent experience across devices, something Microsoft claims no one has ever delivered to date until now with OneNote. So they're saying Evernote hasn't done it. They are the first to deliver this type of experience. Now, all formatting looks exactly the same, including text, tablets with shading and borders, layouts, hyperlinks, note tags, ink from your Windows tablets, and so on, more and more, so on and so forth, and stuff like that. Now, they're also saying that with the iPad app, it's now it now has Office Ribbon UI or user interface, meaning you get the same access to rich formatting on your Apple tablet as in other Office apps. So this includes everything from text formatting, font size, color, stuff like that, bold, italics, highlighting, things like that, dealing with the text, and paragraph formatting, bullet points, numbering, indentations, all of that stuff, to inserting and editing hyperlinks, tables, checklists. All of this stuff is updated and available now. Not updated, but these are features available for OneNote. Now, OneNote allows multiple people to edit a note at the same time and see other people's changes simultaneously. So that's going to be a good thing. So when you connect to Microsoft SkyDrive, if you have a SkyDrive account or something like that, and anyone using OneNote, you can now interact with someone else's notes. So if I'm writing a note to somebody, they can see the note in real time as I'm writing it, and they can add to it at the same. So if I'm saying, remember to, remember you have lunch meeting with Bob. You're writing that in there, and Bob is in OneNote as well. He can see you writing, remember lunch with Bob, and he goes, oh, I'm going to be late. And you see that as he's writing it in real time. So there's no lag. There's no, you write the note, and then you got to remember to call Bob if Bob is in. No, once you are writing a note, if someone else is logged into that same note, they can get the same updates as you type in real time. Multiple people can edit the note at the same time simultaneously. So they're saying that Microsoft likes to point out that most other note-taking apps will lose what you wrote if anyone else edits the note concurrently as you're doing it. Now, next up, obviously, is the ability to sync work notebooks with Office 365 and SharePoint. And Microsoft has also improved how easy it is to sync with SkyDrive with this thing. So the updates coming to OneNote is just top notch. Now we're coming up on a break right here, but if you're someone that uses OneNote, this is something you don't want to miss. This is something that you want to upload, because OneNote really has, I mean, if you like Evernote and you're used to Evernote, then, that's something that you're always going to like. But if you're new to note-taking apps, if you're new to it, then this Microsoft OneNote, with the updates that it has, this is definitely something I would say that you should try. Now, coming up after the break, we're going to continue talking about this, but the Sharp PNK32 2B 4K Ultra HD 32-incher. That's a mouthful right there. That thing is coming out, and we got the specs on it right here. Also, the Xbox One next generation console, it's going to allow you to scan in codes instead of typing them in one by one. All of this and more is coming up right after this on Tech Pulse. So just stay tuned right there. Don't touch that mouse. Just stay tuned right there. And coming up after the break, we'll continue with Microsoft Evernote.